In this webinar, we are going to discuss core learning styles, knowing yours, and how to maximize it. I am Hannah Van Orsby, an academic success coach here at Southwestern College Professional Studies. To start off, let's talk about what are learning styles. Well, a learning style refers to the way a student absorbs, processes, comprehends, and retains knowledge. Today, we are going to focus on 4 different types of learning styles, often seen in the classroom. They include visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic. What is a visual learner? A visual learner is someone who prefers learning by seeing and observing. These learners find pictures, diagrams, tables, and charts to be helpful when learning. You might be a visual learner if you draw diagrams or charts to help organize the information you are learning and find this technique helpful for retaining the information. The second type of learner we are going to discuss is the auditory learner. An auditory learner is someone who prefers learning by listening. These learners find listening to lectures, reading text aloud, and listening to audiobooks to be helpful when learning. You might be an auditory learner if you find it easier to retain information from someone lecturing to you than from reading the information silently. Our third type of learner is the reading-writing learner, sometimes also thought of as a subtype of the visual learner. A reading-writing learner is someone who prefers learning through written words. These learners find writing, reading articles, and taking notes to be helpful in learning. You might be a reading-writing learner if you find that you retain and understand information better after you write it down. Our last type of learner is the kinesthetic learner. A kinesthetic learner is someone who prefers learning by doing. These learners find that acting out events, physically completing a task, and participating in hands-on activities to be helpful in learning. You might be a kinesthetic learner if you find that you need to physically complete a task before you fully understand and learn the concept. Keep in mind that you may have more than one type of learning style. You're not just limited to one of these. Some individuals find that they are most successful when using one learning style in one subject area and another learning style in a different subject. Now that we've discussed the 4 types of learning and defined what those are, let's talk about how you can capitalize on your learning style. As a visual learner, you can use information gathered in class through your notes and organize that information into diagrams to help make sense of the process. Oftentimes, visual learners will group information gathered in class into different drawings, pictures, or diagrams to better understand it. As an auditory learner, you can read text aloud when assigned chapters to read from a textbook. Instead of just reading silently, reading that text aloud can help you process it better because you're also hearing the words as you're saying it. You could also repeat back concepts from a PowerPoint or other notes. Again, the process of hearing those words aloud would help you better understand those concepts than just reading them silently. And another tip for auditory learners is that you could request a Zoom session with your instructor to talk through concepts and ask questions. As a reading-writing learner, you can participate in discussion board posts, read from your textbooks or other articles, and write down definitions. A lot of the times, reading and writing learners will find it helpful to write down concepts multiple times so that they remember them better. And lastly, as a kinesthetic learner, you can participate in observation hours or co-teaching as an education student, practice coding if you're a computer programming student, or apply any of the concepts you have learned in your class to your workplace. This might be specifically applicable for our business students. Keep in mind that you may find that you are one or more of these types of learners, so you might find several of these ways to capitalize on your learning styles helpful. I hope you enjoyed this webinar on knowing your learning style and how to maximize it, and that you find this information helpful for your online learning. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram for more resources like this.